All right, welcome back everybody. Another episode of the No Money Real Estate Podcast, and this is gonna be the craziest one yet because I have to put that boat in that lake, and I've got the boy here with me, got my son Matthew, and we're gonna unpack it. It's been packed up for the winter, and I thought this would be a great time to talk to you about why you should get involved in real estate investing. So that's what this whole show is gonna be about, and we're gonna get started right after this.
Hey, my name's Ken Dunn, and I'm a real estate investor. I want to welcome you to the No Money Real Estate Podcast. On this show, I'm going to interview elite level real estate investors from all over North America, and I'm going to help you to see one thing that all successful real estate investors have in common. They built their portfolios without using a dime of their own money. I've got a portfolio of $300 million in real estate. That includes resorts, apartment buildings, commercial buildings, and I built the entire portfolio without using a dime of my own money. Real estate is a business that anybody can get into, but the strategies that those tight real estate investors use to build massive portfolios have been kept secret for decades. Now, because of this show, I'm going to reveal them to you. So let's get started.
So the first thing we have to do is take the tarp off it. Just go ahead and unpop her on each side. And as I'm taking this off, I'm going to talk to you about real estate investing. Listen, let me first, before I talk about why you should get into it, let me tell you what it's all about. Most people, when they see companies that are building high-rise apartment buildings and condo buildings, they all think that must be difficult. Those people must have amazing amounts of money. Now, some of those major companies do have amazing amounts of money, but when they first get started, nobody uses their own money. Nobody uses any money at all. So if you're thinking of something to do to change your life, real estate investing is the only thing that you should be thinking about. I mean, look at it this way. You know what your life is like right now. You know what you've been through, and you know what your parents have given you, and you're probably not happy with it. Now, let me transform your life secondly. I want you to think about this for a second. Imagine in 10 years from now, you own $20 million worth of real estate, which includes 6 60-unit apartment buildings that make you $55,000 a month in income. That's what real estate investing is. Now, if you want to make money in real estate investing, what you have to do is firstly, you've got to decide to get into it. But then once you decide to get into it, you got to realize that it's not really that complicated. There are 4 main things that you have to master. There's 4 steps in the process of any real estate deal. Step 1, you got to find undervalued properties. Step 2, you've got to acquire those properties by arranging 100% financing. Step 3, you got to increase the value of these properties. And step 4, you got to figure out how to exit, which means if you're going to buy something and you want to keep it, you got to figure out how to refinance it into a long-term loan. And I'll give you an example of it right now. I want you to go for a walk and walk around the property and take it out while I'm working on the boat with Matthew. Look at this property. I bought this property 7 years ago for $1 million. I borrowed all $1 million. And then I renovated. I added a mini Nordic spa to it. I completely renovated one of the cottages. Now this place is worth $2.5 million. I have a mortgage for $1.4 million. So I've got $1.1 million in equity in this property. I rent it on Airbnb when I'm not using it, and I make $8,000 a month in profit just from this one property. Now go for a walk around the property, check it out. That's just a really small indication of what real estate investing is all about. We buy this old property, we fix it up, we increase the value, we keep the equity, and we make money with it. Those 4 steps are every real estate deal you're going to ever see. But before we go any further, let me tell you why the biggest reason you should get involved in real estate investing is. It's the lifestyle you will create for yourself. So today I've got a portfolio that's worth over $100 million. We've got resorts that we own. We have 8 different short-term rental cottages. We have a luxury restaurant in Whitby. We have apartment buildings all in this portfolio. And today is Thursday. I've got a team of 55 people that work in our company. And I'm up here at the cottage putting the boat in the water. And I'm here with my son. And I'm actually here with one of his buddies who works with us also. His name is Lucas. He's the video guy. Turn the camera around and say hi. Wave to the camera. There you go. And we're up here hanging out. I decided to come up here on Thursday. We've got a bunch of friends coming up on the weekend. We're here today putting the boats in the water, and that's our whole life. And you need to come on this journey. Push it in. It's not easy. Some parts of real estate investing are hard, like holding up the ski tower while your son's twisting it in. Holy cow. I'm telling you, like, nothing you're going to do in your life is going to be easy. Everything is going to be hard. There's no doubt about it. But think about getting into a situation where you got a team of people helping you to do it, and you can build a real estate portfolio. If you're brand new and you're looking at it and you're considering getting into real estate investing, let me tell you the path you want to go on. The first thing I'd recommend you get into is house flipping. House flipping is when you go find an old dilapidated property and you renovate it and force an increase in the value and then sell it and keep the profit. We've had thousands of people in our Investors Growth Syndicate mastermind community who have flipped properties successfully and made between $100,000 and $200,000. So let me ask you a question. If you made an extra $100,000 to $200,000 this year in your life, would it make a difference? Yeah, you and I both know it would. But here's something even more important about why starting with house flipping is a good idea. It's the only way in real estate that I know for sure that you can master the skills of learning those 4 steps. Finding undervalued properties. You got to go find an old dilapidated house that you know you can increase the value. Then you buy it without any of your own money. I have over 7,000 private lenders across Canada. And if you join our Investors Growth Syndicate group, I'll let those people lend you the money. I'll help that to happen. And I've literally helped to arrange 1,000 mortgages in the last 3 years since we launched the Investors Growth Syndicate. And I'll help you do that. Then you increase the value, then you sell the property and you make that money. But more importantly, you start mastering these skills. Tell you what's going to happen. If you just get started in real estate investing and you do a flip in the first year and you put 100 grand in your bank account, you're going to radically increase your belief. Then you're going to do more. If you do one flip in year 1 and make 100 grand, how many are you going to do in year 2? Right, you're going to do 2 or 3. And then the year after that, you know what you're going to do? You're going to buy an apartment building. You're going to buy a 20-unit apartment building for $3 million. You're going to increase the value of it. You're going to borrow all the money to do it. You're going to increase the value of it and turn it into something that's worth $6 million. And the people that live in that apartment building are going to pay you $15,000 a month. Now you've changed your life forever. And then you're going to keep doing it. You're going to keep doing more deals, all centered around those same 4 skills. All right, now we got to unpack these garbage bags. I don't know why the guys that put the boat away for the winter put everything in garbage bags, but all of these life vests need to go up there underneath the seats in the front. Gosh, I didn't realize we had so many life jackets in here. I don't know if we actually need this many life jackets in here. That's the ski ropes. That's a football. Frisbee. You got to have a frisbee on a ski boat. I guess we should count how many of these we got in here. You know, if you've never done real estate investing before, then a lot of what I'm talking about is going to be foreign to you, and it's going to be really hard to believe that you could actually own an apartment building. But I'm telling you, you can. It's not hard to do. There are right now in Canada over 1,000 apartment buildings for sale. And all you have to do is go out and find one where the numbers work. What I mean by that is one of the things that every real estate investor does in every deal that they do before they actually go raise the money and before they put an offer to purchase it in is they run the numbers. There's mathematical formulas you follow and you use spreadsheets to figure out if it's going to work. So if you're looking at a 20-unit apartment building, you're going to look at what the rents are. They're going to tell you up front what each apartment is being rented for. And then you're going to compare that to the market. You're going to look at the market and you're going to say, okay, are these rents high or low? And if the rents that they're charging are already as high as they could ever be, you're going to walk away from the deal. But most often, you look at the building and you look at the rents and you say, hey, if I do renovations, if I get rid of these old shag carpets, if I redo the kitchen, if I get quartz countertops, if I get new appliances, that guy who's paying $1,200 a month, I can increase his rent to $1,600 a month. And when you're appraising an apartment building, there's 2 things that apartment building's value is based on. Number 1, it's the renovations that you do. So every time you renovate one of those apartments and you make it better, it increases the value of the property. And then the rents. The value of the apartment building is based on the rents that are being charged and the quality of the real estate. So if you increase the rents and you increase the value, you're going to force the appreciation of the real estate. But right up front, you do the math and you say, okay, if I renovate all these, it's going to cost me $50,000 per apartment. 20 units going to cost me $100,000. And then I'll increase the rents by that, $300 or $400 a unit. If I buy that apartment building for $2 million, if I do that work, that'll increase the value to $4 million. So I doubled the value of it. Now here's the best part. It's gonna cost me 100 grand to do the renovations. So I'll borrow the 2 million to buy the property, and I'll borrow the $100,000 to renovate the property. Then when it's worth 4 million in the end, I'll go to a bank and they'll give me a new mortgage to pay out the temporary lenders, the expensive money that I did it with in the first place. Now here's the best part. Before you buy the property, you're gonna look at the new rents, you're gonna look at what your total cost will be after you refinance the property. And if let's say the new rents coming in will give you a total of $30,000 a month gross income. But if the apartment building and all the expenses only cost you $15,000 a month, that extra 15 grand a month goes in your bank account. And if it's those types of numbers, that means it's a great deal to do. So I bought a gold mine for $1 million. We had a geological study done that says just in the area we're mining in right now, there's $56 million worth of gold. So now I've got a team out there, I've bought all the heavy equipment, and they're mining the gold. And I was just talking to one of the guys that were refinancing a bulldozer and getting all the money we need to keep going on the project. But that's what real estate investing is all about. It's going out and finding really amazing deals and refinancing them. Anyway, listen, I got to get focused on getting this boat on the water. So you guys can come on the journey. You can watch us do this. And once we get on the water, I'll start talking to you about real estate investing again. That's our big old engine in here. It's a 6.2, 300 horsepower Merc Cruiser engine. This boat will do about 100 miles an hour. And it's dirty as all get out, but that's all right. All right, so we'll just leave these guys here so we can get out and in and out easier. You know, sometimes I'd rather just sit here and talk about real estate investing than actually work, but we got to find the screw. If you look down here, there's a plug that keeps water right behind it, right in there. And they take it out every winter, and I always forget what they did with it. So the moral of the story is, here's the plug. This is the most important piece of equipment on this ski boat. That's what keeps the water from coming in. Always know where the most important things are. Here we go. I found it. Found it? Yeah. All right, so this side, now next step is to take this guy off. You just hit the release button and it'll loosen it up. And you pull this off. It goes back down into here. Are clear, so now we'll see if we got juice. Turn the display on. Yes, okay, we'll put this down. Put the inside of the glove box. We're good. It says the trim is all the way up. We want to make sure the trim stays good enough. Perfect. Time to go in the water. So we're gonna put this boat in the water now. The first time I put this boat in the water, I was scared stiff. I was nervous as hell. I was backing up all over the place. It was dangerous, and I was like just petrified. It's kind of like my first real estate deal. When you do your first deal, you're gonna be scared to death. That's why you should join the Investors Growth Syndicate Mastermind group. Because when you're doing your first real estate deal, you're in a group with hundreds of people who are helping you and helping you with every single step. People will go to the site with you. People will review your progress. They'll recommend the right contractors, and you will never fail if you're in our community. Let's go, let's get in the truck. What I love about this type of vehicle is I can see the hitch. So I can see when it's going in the water, and then I've got this aerial view too that can help me to make sure I'm turning the right way. So I'm gonna make sure I don't hit anything, but I can see the angles, right? And I've got the right angle. I got a tree right on my side here, so I gotta make sure that I can get past that tree. I'm gonna back over here a bit because I got too much of an angle going on. There we go. Keep her on this angle. It's gonna be, I'm gonna do like a 15-point turn to get this thing going. My neighbor across the way has got the boat slip, so we're gonna use his boat slip to put the boat in the water. Okay, so we got the camera set up so that you can see what I'm trying to do now, but you should also get a good feel for how complicated this is. And look at how I make this whole thing look easy. I've probably backed this boat into the water, I want to say 30 or 40 times, so I know how to do it. But it wasn't easy. Again, like the whole idea of getting started in real estate, anybody, I truly believe anybody can build a $20 million portfolio. $20 million portfolio means you own $20 million worth of real estate. Would that change your life? You're freaking right it would. But if you do it the right way and your portfolio contains things like apartment buildings or revenue bearing real estate, $20 million portfolio should easily be able to make you $400,000 to $500,000 a year in personal income. So that would change your life. But in order to create a portfolio like that, you're going to have to practice. You're going to have to get good at it, which means you're going to have to back the boat into the water 50 times before it's going to work for you. That's all there is to it. So we're just going to leave it here. Oh, you can see the bilge is working. That's great. Always good when the bilge is working. The bilge is an automatic pump that pumps all the water out of it. Boats carry water. But when the bilge is working and it empties it, that means you're in great shape. Everything's working well. So we start over here and we pull this guy out first. He puts that there because of the geese. If you don't put that there, the geese get in the way. Okay, now the boat's going in the water, so we want to do a last minute check to make sure everything's good. When it gets close, you're going to want to hold on to both of the ropes and stand on the side there so when she goes into the water, we don't lose it. And you'll walk into there, and then we can let that go. She should float. We got the boys on the side. The plug is in. We know the bilge is working because it just worked. We know we got power in the battery. We're good. So we're going to back down slowly and keep her nice and close, and you'll walk onto the side. Then we'll let her go. Is that floating? Oh shit, this is the part where I always get my feet wet. I'm worried about, this is how you get your feet wet in real estate. Yeah, you should be able to just throw those in. So you're gonna just pull it straight up. Just do it really slow. So here I am floating around out here. Watch the boy, let's see if he can do this. There you go, keep her going. Nice and slow. Okay, now we're waterborne. We're not quite sure if it was secured properly or not, but this is a good place to end the first episode. So you just watched us de-winterize the boat, get it in the water. Now we're gonna go off on the lake. This is all because of real estate. The cottage we get to hang out in, the vehicles we drive, the boats, it's all because we really focused on building a major portfolio, putting all the systems in place, and now we get to live the life that's the reward of doing it. And friends, I barely got out of high school. I don't have any formal education. Nobody in my family's ever been wealthy. And it's you know where I'm going with this. If I can do it, so can you. Get into real estate investing.